Horsetails is proudly brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Agriculture. South Carolina, a true leader in the equine industry.
Hey folks, we've traveled all over South Carolina and beyond to bring you some great horsetails, but today we're staying right here at David Grant's farm to bring you our horsetail. We always like to say that the best breed of horse is the one that you're riding, and we ride Marsh Tackies, and we have been for quite some years. David, about a decade now, me about half that time. But the Marsh Tacky is a special breed of horse to us, but we're going to talk about that more today, what makes them so special. But the Marsh Tacky actually brought together a really unique group of people with different talents, and that became the creation of Carolina Marsh Tacky Outdoors, and which is the backbone of horsetails.
That's right.
And you know, before there was the PD Cowboy, there was a posse that created the name, the PD Cowboy, and we're going to meet that posse today. Yes, we are.
Folks, like I say, you've heard me say many times, because of the horse, my life has stayed on course. And right here today, you're going to share a story, the beginnings. Over a decade ago, I discovered what a Spanish horse was the Marsh Tacky. Got interested, contacted some people. We had an open house, and from there it kind of springboarded. So folks, today I think you're going to ride along with us. It's a great journey. This is my Hertfordshire DP next to one of his daughters, and as you know, folks, that you're horse lovers, you got a stud, so he's been in the pasture with his babies and his mares, so he's a little antsy, but that's fine. And folks, like I say, just ride along today. We're going to see some beautiful country and share some great memories.
Stay tuned for some great horsetails.
Horsetails is being brought to you today by KINGSTREE Auction Company, the leading auction company in the Southeast. Dillon Meat Center, featuring Carolina fresh poultry products. Ride in and see Douglas and Terry Wayne Jackson today. By the South Carolina Agriculture Department, it's a matter of taste. And by Benton's Horseshoeing, reliable professional hoof care, specializing in maintenance and corrective shoeing. See Larry Benton.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to Evergrip technology. The Michelin Premier tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
Farmers are always planning for higher yields, more diversity, expanding opportunities. Nationwide and your local agent want to help your farm last through the generations. As the #1 farm insurer in the country, Nationwide can help you achieve your goals. We stand for you.
Folks, the PD Cowboy rides for the brand, and my brand is Carolina Fresh Foods. We have a new product out on the range. So ride on into your local Piggly Wiggly or other fine retailer and ask for Carolina Fresh Premium Leg Quarter. And folks, if they don't have one in the corral, tell them to get cracking and call the old PD Cowboy and his elite posse of chicken wranglers. Carolina Fresh Foods, the name says it all. We are Freshalicious.
From food safety inspections to good agricultural practices, the South Carolina Department of Agriculture is ready to communicate the work that we do for our citizens. We keep our consumers informed and educated.
South Carolina, it's a matter of taste.
Southern States carefully crafts every bag of Legends horse feed with the highest quality ingredients available. The Legends superior line of specially formulated feeds will help keep your horses happy, healthy, and in peak form. You and your horse have a special bond. To keep that bond everlasting, Legends horse feeds can accommodate every type of nutritional need a horse might have. Legends, redefining what horse feed should be. Visit your local Southern States dealer to see which Legends feed is best for your horse.
Folks got a stallion and a gelding and a nice little filly here. We just want to quickly cover a few little things that makes the conformation in this breed a little unique. DP is my Hertfordshire. He's 11 years old, and you see he's kind of stocky, but he does have the deep narrow chest. short back, sloping croup, low tail set. And DP is what you call a grula. And there's a grulo, G-R-U-L-L-O is a Spanish name, and a grula is for the filly, the female. But DP has good leg striping, which is something a little more unique, the shoulder striping, and the dorsal stripe that folks like. And he's got the little foxy type ears. And really what makes unique, DP really unique is his long forelocks and his double mane, which he throws to a lot of his babies. His disposition is what I really like about him, folks. He's got a lot between his ears there. And right here is one of my favorites. It's Tukadu. Tukadu is a 9-year-old gelding. Yeah, just take him out there, man. And just, folks, you see the adequate chest deep in there. That's when I got really good wind, folks. You see, again, he has the short back, sloping croup and low tail set, and the good leg striping. I rode this horse many a day, folks. He's like a little ever-ready bunny. He can go and go and go. Nice little horse. And over here is one of DP's fillies. And folks, it says a lot. DP's a breeding stallion, and it's in springtime, and I got a couple of babies out there, and he's next to her, and he's not doing any more what she is. Wiley, I'll let you kind of describe Faith here a little bit.
Okay, Faith is coming on 3 years old. She's been riding for about a year. As you can see, she's a lot taller than Tukadu and DP, her own father. So, you know, we are breeding for a little bit larger because traditionally they have been very small. But I don't have the exact measure on her, but she is at least 14'2", and she's got quite a thick mane over here. She's called a clay baked dun, and she's got slight tiger striping here. She's got some striping on her shoulder. As the dun, they all have the dorsal stripe down their back. But she's got her daddy's disposition. She's very gentle. She does, as a young horse, she does get some anxiety in a new place, but we're working on that. This is one of the few places that she's been, but I think she remembers this as home, David, because this is where she was born and where she grew up. Right.
And folks, I'm going to expound on a little thing that in the beginning, the Marsh Tackies, they say they can stand on their clothesline and not get wet. The Marsh Tacky Association, the Carolina Marsh Tacky Association, it's got some great information, and so does my website, Carolina Marsh Tacky Outdoors. But I mentioned this, folks, we are breeding like DP. He's about 14 hands, 700-800 pounds, breeding them to some mares that got a little bit more size, more refined. We're breeding for quality, not quantity, and one thing we are breeding for, we're staying strict. The Carolina Marsh Tacky Association got some great guidelines for breeding, and we are staying close to them, folks, like I say, but they are getting with good nutrition, and folks are breeding the best stallions to the best mares. So we are, the size and the weight's coming up a little bit, but not to compromise those great Spanish standards. Well, David, we have quite a number of Marsh Tackies here today, so we're going to go over and just check them out and look at all the different sizes, shapes, and colors that these Tackies come in. And folks, you're going to get a special treat. We're going to start off with DP coming down the line, then a lot of his get, and I'm going to kind of narrate a minute. And folks, when we first started here, there was a little over 100 Marsh Tackies, and Mr. Lowther owned most of them. And I think now there's over 300, is that correct? Yes, there's I think it's 340 is on the register, well, living, but there's a total of 460 on the registry. So these little young ones back here are getting these ones all upset, aren't they? They are. All right, folks, we're going to see some great examples of some good Marsh Tackies. Folks, got a special treat. When we first started trying to preserve this breed, it was over 100. Mr. Latta had most of those. And there's very few riding horses. We got 10 here today. Lee McKenzie, Marion Gohagen, some of those guys. But folks, that's DP, my herd sire. He's broke to death, ready to go. There's Brago with Ashley Jones, a good using horse. We hunt deer hunting hogging from. Oh, two sweet little fillies. That's Faith and Wiley Bell. That's off DP. And that is Southern Drifter. He's a good using horse, folks. That's Lee Hamrick and Southern Spirit. Another really good using horse. He can't decide what color he is, roan or gruel. Folks, the only real cowboy in the bunch, it takes two to handle Mark Halston. Mark Halston with Gambler and my point horse Simpson. The Leighton Bell with his prize horse Bama. Quite a story you'll hear that today, folks. Christina and Postel, the one and only Postel, folks. You'll see some pictures today of Postel. And the Marion Brooch, and one of my all-time favorites, Tukadu. That's as good as it gets, as Jack Nicholson says. Folks, we're leaving the Grant Ranch and we're heading down to the Big Petey River where I got my nickname. We're going to get some great footage. You're going to see some beautiful scenery. We're going to be riding, if you listen real quiet in history, you might hear Francis Marion in the old swamp park, where we're going to be riding right along where he's been. Folks, the Marsh Tacky caravan is rolling out. Horsetails is being brought to you today by Carolina Fresh Foods. Folks, we are Fresh Delicious. Equestrian Images, making memories together. Hey folks, Warren E. Coker Farm for the best cultural Bermuda hay available in the Southeast. Brought to you by Southern Equine Service in Aiken, South Carolina, a full-service equine veterinarian practice offering ambulatory and hospital services.
Community-based farmers markets are a way for farmers to sell their crops and bond with their neighbors at the same time. Look for these markets across our state.
South Carolina agriculture. It's a matter of taste.
The South Carolina Horsemen's Council is the voice of the Palmetto State's equine industry. The South Carolina Horsemen's Council primary purpose is to provide information to the general public, the media and government agency about issues and activities that impact the South Carolina equine community. If you are a horse owner in the state of South Carolina, you need to be a member of the South Carolina Horsemen's Council so we can have a voice about equine issues in our state. For more information, go to schorsecouncil.org.
Come join us at the PD State Farmers Market located on Highway 52 between Florence and Darlington. We offer a full line of plants, flowers, and produce. We're open year-round, Monday through Saturday.
South Carolina agriculture. It's a matter of taste.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to EverGrip technology. The Michelin Premier tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
Folks, we're getting ready to head them up and move them out down on the banks of the Great PD. Team Marsh Tacky. Let's ride.
With me now is Mark Hausman. Mark, you have been around. You've ridden different animals, bulls, horses. You're quite the cowboy. You got the look, that's for sure. Like I said, you have done the rodeo thing, and now you're out here hog hunting with Team Marsh Tacky. You're part of Team Marsh Tacky now. What's been the draw, and what have you thought of these little horses? Because, like I said, you've ridden it all.
Well, they're a lot of fun. They're really tough. Having ridden almost every breed of horse there is, I find with these Marsh Tackies, the toughness is the one thing that really impresses me, the stamina. We can come out here and hog hunt and ride horses for hours and hours chasing horses or chasing hogs through the swamp.
Now, we've been known to chase horses too.
We've been known to that's true. But every time I come back, I have as much horse when we get back to the trailer as we do when we leave. I mean, they have stamina that's just unbelievable. and they'll go places that I don't want to take my own horses, and that's a lot of fun for me. I mean, I have no doubt that I could bring my horses down here and go most of the places we go. I just don't want to do it. And as long as they're available and they'll have me, I'm going to come get on these and go play in the swamp because it's a lot of fun.
Now you train horses. You have Houseman Training Center up in Waxhaw, North Carolina, and you've actually trained one of David's horses. How did the Marsh Tacky compare to, you know, other breeds, or are they just kind of all the same? A horse is a horse.
I treat them all the same. I get quarter horses, warm bloods, paints, you name it, I get it, Arabs, everything. And I try to treat them all the same like I do my own cow horses, and put a really good foundation on them where they're ready to do whatever job they're going to get when they get home. And I found, just because of my approach, I think that I could adjust it a little if I did many more Marsh Tackies, but I found it was a little slower progress. But as soon as the light bulb went on whatever I was trying to teach them, you couldn't ever take it away. I mean, they really catch on when they do, and it was just lots more repetitions than I thought it was going to take for some things, not so much for others. So it was just surprising. Every horse has his own personality, you know that because you train horses too. But what I found was that every time something did stick, you know, you didn't have to repeat it much more, and you know, you come back to it in a few months and it's still there. So I'm really impressed by that.
Folks, behind me is the Great Petey River, with one of the greatest friends I've ever had and ever will have. And folks, the moniker, the Petey Cowboy, come from Brian. Brian, you want to quick how you stuck that on me?
Oh, I don't know. We were deer hunting in a bean field one time, and I'm looking for my deer, and Dave was a lot of help. He rode off, and then I heard in the corner of the field a boom, and then we were dragging out a 10-point after that. And I took the antlers home, cleaned them up for him, put them on a little thing, and I said, you know, I always put a little name plate down there at the bottom. I said, Petey Cowboy, and it stuck.
And the rest is history, folks. When we started, like we said, Marsh Tacky Outdoors springboarded, that's where horsetails come from. And we actually said, hey, you need a nickname. He said, the Carolina Cowboy. And we said, no. He said, Brian, put it right there on the plaque. But folks, Brian and me started, we hunted together when he moved from Charleston to Florence. Become great friends, and we hunted, hog hunted on just horses, didn't we, Brian?
Right. And a lot on foot. It's a combination.
But folks, one thing I want to share with you today, and it's I hope I can get through it. I think Brian will do a little better. Right up the river from here, we were doing one of our first photo shoots with Marsh Tacky Outdoors, and it say that me and Brian get together, we trouble, is an understatement. But we were swimming the horses and doing all that, and Brian, adrenaline junkie. Brian knows no caution. But folks, we were taking some good photos, and then Brian took a little horse we had here today, Postel, out a little further in the river, and turned around and looked. I didn't think much about it, and he kind of got in a little tight, and I'm gonna let him finish explaining, but I will share this, and that I still struggle with it today, because I was saying roll the cameras, and I had no idea that Brian was in a life and death situation, because I know that, you know, when the good Lord calls him home, but nothing can kill Brian. He was unstoppable, and that he would be in trouble out there, I didn't really comprehend that. So Brian, I'm going to let you tell the audience what happened.
Well, to David's defense, I mean, we've swum across the Lynch's River fully clothed with snake boots on before to get to a hog bay. So he was used to seeing me do that, and I'm sitting out there in the river with my sunglasses still on, but no one could tell that the horse, when we hit the river channel out there, I felt it lose its front feet, and then when it lost its back feet, it just swam for a second or two and then just freaked. What I call climbing the ladder. It just started going up the ladder, and they couldn't see me for all the splashing, but I could hear them. They're like, Brian, get off the horse. And I'm like, guys, I'm off the horse. I'd done ejected and got myself away because I knew we were in a situation where both of us were going to have to take care of ourselves individually. But what happened was Postel flailed way up in the air and came down, and I was trying to get away from him, but with all those wet clothes, I just couldn't do it real quickly. And I could feel him coming down on me, and his brow caught my forehead right there, and it's about like a brick hitting your head. And next thing I know, we're both underwater, and I'm looking at a little bit of light way up there top of the river. Swam up. But make a long story short, I didn't know I was in trouble at first. I was trying to figure out how to hang on to a hat and some boots that were halfway on my feet. And about 5 minutes later, I was down the river, and thank God for Wiley, and God did use Wiley. I was totally exhausted. We'd hog hunted the day before. The horses were worn out. We were dehydrated and worn out and didn't know it. And I couldn't save myself. My arms and legs were totally shot. And then I looked down the river, and I saw where I was headed. I was in the channel, in the flow, and I knew I was going to die in just a few seconds. And then Wiley, she saw her face coming across the water. She said, "Brian, just hang on, you know, get your head up, get on your back." And I'm like, I couldn't do any of that. I was just shot. But anyway, when she got to me, I could feel her. I couldn't even feel her physical touch because I was numb at that point. I was going under. I was looking at a little blue sky way up with a white cloud and water all around the edge of it. And she had to actually reach out and put her hand down in the water to grab me. That's how close it was. But I'd given in to the fact that I was going to die. I was exhausted. If it hadn't been for God using Wiley, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you today. Third grandchild on the way too. So anyway, that was a tough day, but it taught us all a lot of caution, a lot of experience right there.
Well, folks, today is just not another show about. It is about the Marsh Tacky, and I've shared because of the horse, my life stayed on course. But today is to come together of friends, and Brian and me are grandparents, and we work all the time. But one of our prayers is that we maintain our health, and we'll finish strong together. We know where we're going, but folks, like I say, Brian and me are the type of individuals, we always push it over the edge, and that day we just about pushed it over the edge. And like I say, the show you've seen today is folks that come together. We call ourselves Team Marsh Tacky now, brought together, and we're just lifelong friends, and it's quite a story. Yeah. Quite a story. Well, Brian, love you, brother.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Jones, out here today on the Great PD River, enjoying a Marsh Tacky Day. Stay tuned for more of Horsetails.
Horsetails is being brought to you today by MORRELL Tire Service. Right on in and see Richard and his fine family of technicians to take care of your automotive needs. By Nationwide, and folks, you know when the PD Cowboy rides, he rides with Nationwide on his side. Ken Law's Supermarket, Fayetteville, North Carolina, featuring a full line of Carolina Fresh 3-pack frozen poultry program.
Come join us at the PD State Farmers Market located on Highway 52 between Florence and Darlington. We offer a full line of plants, flowers, and produce. We're open year-round, Monday through Saturday.
South Carolina agriculture. It's a matter of taste.
Folks, the PD Cowboy rides for the brand, and my brand is Carolina Fresh Foods. We have a new product out on the range. So ride on into your local Piggly Wiggly or other fine retailer and ask for Carolina Fresh Premium Leg Quarter. And folks, if they don't have one in the corral, tell them to get cracking and call the old PD Cowboy and his elite posse of chicken wranglers. Carolina Fresh Foods, the name says it all. We are Fresh-alicious.
Farmers are always planning for higher yields, more diversity, expanding opportunities. Nationwide and your local agent want to help your farm last through the generations. As the #1 farm insurer in the country, Nationwide can help you achieve your goals. We stand for you.
Folks, it's been a great day here on the banks of the Great PD River. Folks, a lot of history has come down this Great PD. When America first settled, you know, they had come on the major tributaries. And one neat story that I'll share with you is that Society Hill's back over this way. They say back in the day in Society Hill, they called it Rusty Side Hill, I think, or Long Bluff. I think Long Bluff is what it was. I might be wrong on that, but forgive me. But you can say you can sit there and look out across all this expansion, not hardly a tree, hard to believe. And now, this is some of the wildest places you can find in the state of South Carolina. We're probably numerous miles from a paved road. No place I'd rather be. What do you think, Wiley?
Well, David, you can say it. We rode about 30 minutes to get out here. We are far from civilization, but that's the way Team Marsh Tacky does. You know, we're always out looking for an adventure, and we've had a great time today, but we would love for everyone to follow us by keeping up with us on our website, which has just been redone by the Snyders, and which we met today, and it's got all the photos from today. It has photos from 10 years, that as long as Carolina Marsh Tacky Outdoors has been in existence. And you know, you're a writer, you got all your hog hunting stories on there, and there's plenty of information about the Marsh Tacky breed if people want to learn more about them. And that's CarolinaMarshTacky.com.
And folks, my life has been quite a journey and been so much better because of horse. Good friends like Wiley, and I just hope you really enjoyed the show today. And folks, when you're out and about, spur one another on to love and good deeds. And when you're on your horse, keep your reins low and your hands quiet, and God has blessed this great country of ours.